around, or when quite often people sort of turn up a bit later or just watch it after the fact. Anyway, so welcome everyone. I think we're live now.
Hey.
And welcome to people that haven't been here before. It's Guitar Builders Collective Chat. We get together. It's normally once a week on Fridays, but I've been a bit slack recently because I've got a secret project on which I can't talk about at the moment. But hopefully in a few months I can tell you all about it. But we're back. We're back this week. And thanks to Alan below. Alan's been doing a great job contacting people that have been part of the Jurg's Cup. I'll explain that in a minute. To come and join us. So as a result, we've got a new face. Yeah, Jurg's Cup. Joe's here. Oh, you both got yours. Hey Joe, welcome from JP Custom Guitars.
Thank you.
We've got just above me. There's Ray over in I've forgotten what city you're in. It's not
Melbourne.
It is Melbourne.
Yeah, Melbourne, Australia.
Yeah. It's Aaron that lives just outside Melbourne, isn't it?
Yeah, he's about an hour away from me.
Yeah, in a name sort of sounds totally made up, which is sort of racist. I shouldn't have said that. Odd sounding down there.
Aaron lives in Geelong.
Geelong, yeah. I love Australian words. Anyway, whatever. We were just talking off air about the weather because it's so hot here. Alan and myself are on the south coast of England. Joe, you said you're up north?
Northeast. Yeah, the northeast. Yeah, North Sea coast. It's always about 10 degrees cooler here than it is down where you guys are from.
Oh, well, that sounds good today, but I guess the rest of the time. So tell us quickly, because I'm intrigued by your workshop. What's your space like, and what's it like at the moment with the heat?
It's quite cool. I've got it in the top corner of the garden underneath trees. So it's not facing the sun directly, so it's always a bit cooler in here. So it's nice in the summer, but not very good in the winter. It's a bit cold in the winter. But it's a nice space. It's about 13 feet by about 13 feet. And
amazing. That's
a
good.
decent height as well. So, yeah. Nice sanctuary.
Is it a space you made especially for building in?
No, originally it was a summer house. And it wasn't really getting used as such, apart from by me. So I thought, all right, I'm going to make some workbenches and get all the tools out, and then see. And I happened upon, like a lot of people who subsequently became builders, I happened upon Ben Crow.
Yeah, right.
And I thought, oh, that looks really interesting. I think I could do that. And then I started just watching everything and learning, you know. Assembling the tools that you need.
That was?
Yeah, about 2018, 2017,
oh, right.
18. Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah. Quite a while ago now. And obviously we had COVID, didn't we? And that we got really obsessed with it during COVID, being at home for a bit. So yeah, that was. Everybody else hated it. I think I quite enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to. It was hard for people, but I actually.
Yeah, it was hard for people. Shouldn't make light of it, really.
No, but I'm like you. I quite like being alone. I was with my family. I couldn't work because the sort of work I do, a lot of it I couldn't do. So it's financially hard, but it meant I got to do. Yeah. I did a lot of renovations in the house that were quite cheap. And dug up the garden, and
I think everybody did the same things, you know.
Not me, I worked all the way through it.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Yeah. We were working on some research to make respirators and stuff. So.
Amazing.
Right, okay.
Yeah, we ended up spending a fortune, and the government then told us, we're not going to fucking bother, and we're not going to give you any of the money back either.
Yeah.
So there's a load of us. A couple of companies went out of business because of that.
Yeah. Terrible.
I guess.
So I didn't really get to enjoy the COVID lockdown because I went through some really major life-changing events during there, and while everybody else was, you know, sort of enjoying being stuck at home and all of that, I was bloody in a hospital bed for most of it. So that was me, and everybody talks about COVID, and I was just like, don't know.
Yeah.
Don't know what happened.
Fair enough. I'm sure you don't want to go back and think about all of that, but it's glad that's in the past, I guess.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But one, I mean, that is one good thing about COVID is it brought together online communities that maybe
It did,
didn't exist
yeah.
before.
It was the first great guitar build off, which I wouldn't care. I was building a guitar or starting to build when that kicked off, but I don't know. I can't remember why I didn't join in. I'm not a good joiner. It was just, I don't know. I felt as though being a YouTuber was a bit of a risk at the time. I don't know what it was, something like that.
I do remember in the second year, a lot of people were saying who did take part how hard it is, because if you want, it wasn't just about building guitars; it was about building guitars and making videos. And not
Yes,
everyone wants to do both. And some of them are, one of them's harder to do than the other for a lot of people, and it means double the equipment.
Well, I've tried filming the Jurgs 4 as my first attempt at filming as I go, and I've missed half of it. I'm either filming the drill press and then walk off to do something, and it just carries on filming the drill press while I'm doing something else, or I just forget to turn it on, and that's the I finish something and I go, oh, shit, I didn't film that bit.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a crap video when I do put it together.
Oh, it's the editing it all, isn't it?
I must admit I've mainly used Instagram because you can document what you're doing without having to be doing it live, and kind of give a summation at the end of a day of work, and it's quite concise, and that's just the way I've gone, really.
Do you know, I've been thinking about doing something like that. I've been thinking about if I just did lots of 1-minute videos on Instagram daily and then just put them together at the end, then you'd have X amount of 1-minute videos to make a proper YouTube 20-minute video or whatever. 20 videos, 20 minutes. Yeah, but it seems to work. Hey, in a bit, Joe, I'll share your Instagram so we can see what's going on. I just want to mention, I'm pretty certain everyone that's watching will know about the Jurg's Cup, and they'll know what we're talking about when we're talking about Ben Crow and Crimson Guitars and the Great Guitar Build Off. But essentially, just a quick recap, which I try to do most weeks when we're talking about it. The Jurg's Cup is a sort of friendly community build along. This year it's more of a competition in that there's going to be some prizes for it, but they're just sort of a bit of encouragement. It doesn't really matter. I don't think anyone's there for the prizes. They're there for the experience of taking part. It's named after Jurgen Zoller, who was part of the community that really came together during COVID because of Ben Crow, mainly on Crimson Guitars on their YouTube channel and the competition they run. And that kind of community was, as we were saying off air, Joe, a really friendly, supportive community. And when he passed away, Corey from Saul Good Guitars suggested we do something every year in his name, and we stick with his sort of ethos of supporting everyone, sending each other messages, watching videos, watching Instagram, and just commenting what you like about what's going on. If someone's got a question, they put out a question and people answer in a nice, friendly way. And it's been great. And basically, it also now exists as a Facebook group, the Jurg's Cup Facebook group, which you should definitely check out. It's really good. And everyone I think there's over 300 members now, not everyone that's there is building a guitar. Not everyone that's sort of taking part in the Jurg's Cup, I'll explain how to take part in a minute, is building either. They've just signed up to be part of it, but they're watching and supporting everyone. And that's what's great. Yeah. So look, I'll put a little thing up below which says, if I can find where it is, it says how to join the Jurg's Cup. I've got this really annoying moth flying around me here. But yes, basically, go over to jurgscup.com. You can buy a bit of merch. You don't have to buy a bit of merch. You just do the little donation to charity. And then you set up an account on the Jurg's Cup website, which is like a profile where you can upload pictures of your builds and some photos of you and what you're doing. And then you build something. And it's got to be finished by November. And then in November, Corey and Mick, who are the sort of masterminds behind the Jurg's Cup, and Paul from Mile House Studios are going to look over what everyone's done and give out a few prizes. And if you haven't finished in November, you can just keep building and people will still follow you and support you and all of that. Sorry, this thing's really annoying me now. Yeah, hey, why don't we start, Joe, by talking about what you're building? If it's all right, I'll share your Instagram and you can tell us about it. Because what I haven't mentioned is there's a theme this year to encourage you to build. You don't have to follow the theme, it's just there as an encouragement. But the theme is Guitar Heroes. Build a guitar that your hero used to play or plays?
Yeah. That's my inspiration was I found the Jam and Paul Weller at about 14-year-old, and that just set me down the route for enjoying music, and that sort of late punk new wave type of music and mod inspiration, and so that it had to be that. And his early guitars were all Rickenbackers, and I've never owned one. I've made a couple, made a few, but this one I thought I'd make it a bit more obviously like mod based, and I've kind of whizzed through it. Really, I didn't realize how quickly I was going until now. I feel as though I'm at a loose end.
I've got to say,
every night I'm coming in, there's nothing to do because I've done it. So, so it's just right behind me here. Yeah. I'll just if I get that down for you.
Let's see if I can zoom in on you a minute. I've got to say, I really love the kind of scratched, used pickguard feel to it.
Yeah.
Hey,
I made those.
What did you make it out of? Have you painted the design on, or was it something that already had the?
I went on Amazon and I searched. I was looking for something that was like maybe aluminium sheet and I found these. They were just like a small sign. You could get them in different sizes, and I just bought like the A4 size, 2 of them, and made them. I had some plastic sheet which I've used to with epoxy, and as you can see there, the thickness to them.
Oh yeah.
So and reinforced them with that, so they're pretty solid and look the part. And I've managed to line everything up so that the flags sort of lines up, even though it's 2 bits. So yeah, I'm very happy with it. And you can see that the target inside there. Look. As well. Yeah. So that's the Paul Weller inspired Rickenbacker. Went to a friend's last night and did a sound demo, and it's these are humbuckers. They're not single coils, so the original ones were quite low output, but these are quite a high gain, quite a hot pickup really, and I don't know, it suits the Jam's sound, quite aggressive. I'll just put it back on there.
Do you remember what the first song you played on it was?
There we go. Yeah, so that's it. So that was the idea behind it, and it just all came together really well. And
I've got to say
it's a homage rather than an exact replica.
I think that's brilliant. I think that's a really good take on it. What I like it as well. I like the combo. I like the knobs you've picked.
Yeah,
they kind of feel of the period. I don't know if they really are.
Do.
Period. They do to me. They feel like it. The look of pickups as well. I love this binding on the back.
Yeah.
I can't remember if I've seen that before. It's brilliant.
Yeah, they do the Rickenbacker. They do that. It covers the joint because you work from the back. It's weird. It's like you're when you chamber out the guitar, because it's obviously a thin line. You do it so that it's like the other way around to a normal, say, telly, where or another guitar type that you would stick a top on, where this you put the back on.
Yeah, right.
So it's the other way up, yeah.
Just jumping in there for a second. Is that mother of pearl binding?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Bloody hell!
Yeah.
That's gorgeous.
Yeah, it's nice, isn't it?
Well done.
Yeah, it's so you chamber it from behind, and then the neck joint. And I chose to do the 24 fret neck because it comes further into the body, and just feels a little bit more substantially strong than the 21 or 22 fret neck. That sort of it ends at the body neck junction there. It's right on the edge, and I just think it's a better look, the 24 fret one. But it's but I'm not keen on the Rickenbacker neck dimension. I find them a bit narrow, So this one, the neck's sort of more of a Les Paul neck, if you like. The same dimensions with a 43mm nut rather than a 41.5 nut that Rickenbacker use. So I've had to adjust the spacing on the saddles to accommodate that. I've had to sort of modify it, and because I've got sausage fingers. And a little skinny Rickenbacker neck's no good for me, not really.
Hey, just before I ask you a question about the bridge, I know what you mean about where the neck joins and having those extra frets. I always find it weird when you have I think some of the Les Paul Juniors have that as well, where the neck just sort of stops, the fretboard stops as the body starts.
I
find it really intriguing when I look at that.
SGs are like that.
Yeah, SGs I like that. Yeah, they are. But I think in an SG,
the neck stops and then the body starts, or the fret stop and then there's the body.
I think on the back of an SG, though, it comes out underneath the neck to support it, whereas on these it doesn't. They use on the original guitar design, they use a very long neck tenon, so the neck comes down 2/3 of the way down the guitar. That's how they get the stability with it.
Right.
Where I've gone shorter than that. Yeah. I've gone shorter than that. Mine's just about 3 inches. But you fit it into this the chamber from behind, and then when you add the back and glue that on, it adds extra strength from behind as well. So yeah, it's quirky.
So tell us about this bridge. I've got we've got a video here, so I can't zoom in on it or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Is that something you've made?
No, well, the bridge itself is a Geica unit. All of those kind of bridges, you could go to All Parts and pay 130 quid, but I've had a couple of those before, and they're no different to these, really. I don't think it's quite a simple design. What I didn't like was the palm rest. It looked a bit flimsy, so I thought I'll make a palm rest, a custom one to go on it. And like I say, the string spacing wasn't right for the neck, so I've had to widen that out a little bit. So just cut new grooves into the saddles. Right. And obviously with that palm rest over the top, you can't see the extra notch. So it works out all right.
But then the bit at the back, the sort of the tailpiece.
Yeah.
Is that your own?
No, that's
also the Geica.
Yeah, that's I'm not sure whether I got that from AliExpress, I think. Again, it's one of those things where you buy them, you get them off some websites that specialise in Rickenbacker, and they're like 70 or 80 quid for the same thing. And that looked quite substantial, and I was quite pleased with it, actually, when it came. It was 20 odd quid, maybe 30 quid. So not bad at all, really.
Yeah. I
know there's one of the guys, I think, Jurg, I think he's called, who's building along, and he's doing a Rickenbacker as well. And he bought the replica tailpiece with the R on it. And it looked really nice, but they were about £70, so about half what you would pay for an original one. But that one looked quite a substantial quality, because a lot of the tailpieces are pretty rubbish. They're like pieces of chromed wire, and then this sort of thing that with 2 nuts on the end that holds on the bit where your strings locate. So I'm not keen on them, so I thought I'd go try one of these this time, and it just has the look. It looks good.
So apologies, I'm not a big Rickenbacker. I'm not that knowledgeable with them. Does the one you put on, does that look quite a bit like the original?
Yeah, it's Rickenbacker use a trapezoid one on certain models. So I've just used it because they do use it on certain models. It has that kind of like a nice symmetrical, clean look. That's what I like about it, and it's quite a simple idea. Whereas the one with the Rickenbacker R on it, it's heavier, substantially heavier than that one. But I don't know. It's not a Rickenbacker, so I didn't want to put Rickenbacker on it. So
fair enough.
That's partly it.
Hey, look, I apologise to people that are in the live chat. I've been too busy staring at the Instagram and the pictures and listening to Joe to follow along. So there seems to be a few jokes that I've lost the thread of about Rickenbackers and calling them Tricky Rickies, Dicky Tricky Ricky. I'm getting confused there. But Eddie's in the chat. Eddie from Electric Lady Guitars, and he's mentioned before he used to play with he used to or trained under Chris Eccleshaw, and Paul Weller played a Chris Eccleshaw guitar when he played Down the Tube Station at Midnight on
All right. Okay, that's interesting.
And what he's also saying there is he's got the original plans for it to work from.
Right. Interesting, isn't it?
I've got to say, when I was at school, so I had friends that were really into the Jam, and I was at that. I think they got into it about the time I was getting into Motorhead. It didn't seem the right sort of fit to me, but I still liked their music. But it wasn't until like quite a few years later that I really got into them. They're very good. I think there's so many layers to the songs that it just every bit of the instrumentation of it is just fantastic.
Yeah, it talked to me as a teenager, definitely, in the way that happens. I mean, my friends at school, a lot of them were heavy rock fans, and I couldn't help being swept along a bit by that as well. I mean, I saw Motorhead actually. I did quite like them because they were quite heavy and aggressive, so I quite liked Motorhead. And I saw them when they did Ace of Spades. I saw that concert in Newcastle. And that was good as well.
I think it's so I don't know my music history well enough, but because I teach art a lot, and when I'm talking to people about art, I'm always talking about trying to think about it in the context of when it was made and what it would have been like to the audience looking at it or listening to it at the time. And I think it's hard for me to quite imagine how revolutionary or shocking the Jam were, and then the Style Council were. Just because to me it was just slightly older music. It didn't seem like it would have been that shocking at the time. But it's interesting as a grown up looking back on it and trying to picture that.
Yeah. It's a lot of the bands then. There was a lot of social commentary going on, and a bit political as well.
Yeah.
In more than modern groups tend to be, I think. And it was a sign of the times in Britain, wasn't it? In the 70s and 80s, it was all a bit bleak if you weren't rich. So that kind of came across in the Jam's music for sure. So a lot of his songs had aggressive lyrics, and it was like a backlash against things and the way society was being run at the time. Thatcher.
Yeah, I think I had quite a naive little upbringing. It wasn't until I was in my early 20s that I really became more aware of politics and things. But but then you look back on obviously the Clash are political, but it wasn't until I got into the Clash in my mid-20s that I really realised how political they were. And I'm trying again imagine how meaningful that must have been to someone at the time it was written.
Yeah, definitely. It's I mean, not all Jam fans like the Style Council. It was a big turn away from the type of music that he'd been doing. So I went along with that. I quite liked it. I thought it was really good. And then you hit a bit of a sticky patch in the around 1990 era, and then reimagined himself in the 90s, going through into the mid 90s with probably one of his better albums, I think, is Stanley Road, and it's fantastic. As well. And he got friendly with the Oasis boys, didn't he, at the time? I think Noel Gallagher.
I think that's what my friend's roots into the Jam were, and Paul Weller were through Oasis. Looking back,
it's like the new generation, isn't it? Of people, fans who wanted to listen to something that was a bit more guitar based. I mean, when I was quite young as well, there was a lot of electronic music. There was a big scene like Depeche Mode and bands of that ilk, and quite electronic, quite synth based, OMD, and it was all right, but wasn't my thing. I like guitars, so for me, it always had to be bands that had the guitar sound, like more of a traditional rock sound, and that's kept me going for a good few years now. Let's just say that.
So can I ask you a bit about the other two guitars that are behind you?
Yeah, sure, yeah.
So presumably they're both your builds?
Yeah, both my builds, yeah.
And was there any kind of influence in them from guitarists, or a reason you built the sort of Les Paul style?
The Les Paul here, which is like the AFD 59 Burst, is for a friend of mine, the lad who did my sound demo last night. I'll give a big shout to Anthony. He's a top lad. And,
is that the one that's on Instagram?
Yeah. He was playing on Instagram last night. So he commissioned that build in 2020 to 21. And, again, when somebody asks you for that type of thing, you think they're chasing the dream a little bit, don't you? And, anything that you might do as an amateur builder might be a bit of a letdown, but actually it turned out great. And it's if I can get that, I'll show you that.
So I'm not going to in any way say I've played loads of vintage Les Pauls, but
No.
I always bang on about the fact that I think a lot of luthiers, even hobby builders, boutique builders, the quality of what they make is equal often to those factory builds.
Yeah, well,
or better. Look at that. That looks great.
Yeah, I mean that was a fantastic AAA top, and the actual body of the guitar was a 60-year-old beam that came out of a garage, and was really dry to work with. Beautiful machine, great. Everything just went perfect, and he ended up with that. You can't see it. Yeah, he ended up with that, and it's the build. I did put was a bit naughty, but that's what he wanted. So it's got the. It does have that on, which it's not something I would usually do, but yeah, it so it's got Indian rosewood and just all the usual stuff, but the hardware is all Gibson. It came off a broken headstock guitar. So
nice.
It's got the Gibson pickups, electronics, ABR1 tailpiece, knobs, tuners, everything's Gibson. Apart from the fabric of the thing, which is obviously I've made. So yeah. But he used to gig with this. It's done some work. You can see on the neck there. It's looking a bit sort of road worn, but that adds to it, I think. And then I'll put that back. It is a weight, mind. And this one here.
Oh, so it's like a true one then.
Yeah, where this one, that's made out of reclaimed wood, and bits from other builds, really. And
I love those colours.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it?
But
it's like a plum brown, if that makes sense. And
I imagine, because I'm watching it on a screen, I imagine real life it's going to be even more vibrant.
Yeah, and that's Palfaro with abalone inlays, and it's quite a plain maple cap, but I love tobacco burst, so that had just to be a tobacco burst.
And is that one you made for yourself then?
No, this is for sale, but just you know what it's like. It's a hard sell, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's never. It's just never shifted. People keep messaging me and saying, "I love that. How much is that?" And then when you get to the crux of the matter, you just, But I'm not bothered. I don't need to sell it. I love it. So, And
on the same hand, it's not like it's going out of style anytime soon.
Exactly.
Yeah. So if it does, even if it sits there for 10 years,
it's a classic.
It's still worth the same.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But yeah, my first guitar was a Les Paul copy, a Japanese one by Arturia. So I've always been a bit of a Les Paul guy as well. So that first guitar was like very similar to a gold top, and that was. I think I've lost sound.
Oh no, we can hear you.
Yeah.
We can hear you.
I can't hear you now.
Oh, okay. Well, we can hear you, but that doesn't help if you can't hear us.
No.
While you're trying to get back, there's someone in the chat that says they have a guitar from you. It's
Sorry,
fantastic.
I can't.
Yes.
I can't hear you guys.
I've got to write something. I've got to write you a message. See if you can read it. I think he's doing it. My writing's gone mad. Can you hear us now?
No.
Try switching on and off.
So, Ray, do you want to tell us a bit about your new guitar plans?
No, it's back to front.
You're muted.
Log off.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. You're back
I would
now.
love to, but I actually can't. I said too much yesterday.
Oh dear. Okay.
Well, it was in a private chat sort of thing. So yes, I do have a collaboration coming up with a 3D printer manufacturer, and we are doing something really cool. Something that I've thought about for a while, discussed with people for a while, and have never pulled the trigger on. And now I'm sort of, doing it. So I think you'll sort of see that start to appear over the next 9 months is sort of our time frame on that to coincide with the release of the machine and all that. So, yeah.
Amazing. Amazing. I love every now and then we just say, how's your secret project going? And you can say it's going all right.
Very well, thank you.
Hey, one thing
You've got a secret and Daniel's got a secret. This is good.
Yeah. Mine, I think mine's okay to talk about in November, but I'm not sure. I might find out before then. Meanwhile, I haven't got it here because it's in the house. But my book came today, my first advanced copy of my book.
Wow.
So for those of you that don't know, I've been writing a book, or I wrote a book about customizing guitars, mainly focusing on finishing guitars, but also a bit about resculpting bodies and stuff. And it took me a very, very long time to write. It was very complicated to edit. And then I think it's 2.5 years since I started it. But it just got back from the printers, an advanced copy, and then the publishers deal with all the distribution when the main stock comes in. So hopefully it'll be with people via Amazon in about 6 weeks.
Really?
6 weeks.
About a year
because the last time I looked, it said my order was due to arrive in like November.
Well, it was due to come out in October last year.
Yeah.
Yes, that was right. But there you go.
So what was the hold-up? Because the book was all finished, wasn't it?
There were two things. There were a few things that delayed it initially. Sorry, Joe, we're going off on tangents here.
No,
so
fine. Yeah.
One of the things was I wrote a book and I wrote too much. And they decided they couldn't decide whether to divide it into 2 books, have one now and one later. They decided to put it in one book, but it made it much more complicated to fit it all in because they wanted to have the book not too big so they could keep it at a set price point that they thought the people that would buy the book would be willing to pay. So it was much more complicated to lay out. Mm-hmm. And then in the whole process of laying it out and editing it, a number of people involved with the process went off sick. So there were some delays with that. And then sort of because of that, some things got lost sort of in the ether in between various edits of it. But then it got made, and then there were just delays. I think shipping things at the moment, because it's printed in India, and then shipping it across the world is a bit slower at the moment. So, but the initial delay was basically the complication of how weird the book was. I think there's a lot more photos and a lot more text than they would normally fit in a book this size, so it's harder to lay it out. Plus, what's interesting, of course, the production company, the publishing company employs someone to do a book layout who's an expert in book layouts. Doesn't mean they're an expert in guitars. So occasionally guitars were upside down and things like that in the pictures because they don't know it's the wrong way around, right? They look at it, looks right. To be fair, the ones that are the wrong way around were often the left-handed ones, but not always. Yeah.
Those things just look odd anyway.
Oh yeah, so Joe, while you were sorting out the sound, you've got a couple of fans in the chat. There's someone, I don't know their name. Where is it? It was D Kirk up 14.
Yeah.
Owns one of your guitars.
Yeah, David. Yeah. He bought one because it was red, and he's a Liverpool supporter. He loved it, but doesn't play. But if it looks nice and you like it and you love it, why not?
So,
but that was a Jaguar, like an offset, like a Jag Master with two humbuckers and a single coil in the middle, and a super switch. So it's a very good technical guitar for somebody who can't play.
Well, sometimes that's the inspiration people need. But yeah.
No, he's a good friend.
Oh, nice. So what I haven't really asked is, obviously you can make guitars. We've seen them; they're really well made. Have you got a background in woodworking or anything, or was it just you started on your first guitar and that it's taken off from there?
No, I haven't got a background in woodworking at all. No, it's just I was in a business that was a creative business from 19-year-old for nearly 30 years, where there's a lot of making and design and stuff involved in it, and I've just always been one of these people, I guess, where I can just turn my hand to different things, and I've always been a good woodworker. I was good at school, good at metal work at school and fabricating stuff. I've always been handy, so it's just really been a natural fit and a way of artistic expression, really. And find it very interesting. I love watching other people's work as well. Get inspired by other people's stuff. And I've probably watched some of yours, Daniel, over the years. Yeah, and just about every YouTube builder, I've probably watched most of their videos. I would have thought at one point or another, and find it very fascinating and interesting. But I think everybody that's into guitars and building guitars, I think everybody's kind of similar to that, aren't they?
Yes, definitely. Hey, look, someone just mentioned your Game of Thrones guitar, so let me just share that on screen.
All right. Yeah.
When I first saw that, I thought, is it pyrography? But it's painted. Is it painted?
It's painted. It's an acrylic painting. Just acrylics directly onto the guitar body, and like a crackle finish on the pick guard.
Nice.
Yeah, it's different, a little bit different.
So you doing guitars full time, or is this hobby?
No, it's just a hobby. Yeah, I'm an amateur. I'd have liked it to have been a business, but it's I haven't got enough time to devote to doing guitar shows and going the traditional routes into it, really. And I was quite hoping that exposure from social media would have picked things up, but it hasn't really happened in the way that I wanted it to. But that doesn't mean that I don't enjoy. I really enjoy get absorbed in it, and I'm very passionate about it. Yeah, and it's you can lose hours, can't you?
Yeah. I feel like I've said this before, and I don't mean to in any way insult guitar builders, but one thing I see when I'm at guitar shows is that a lot of builders, like a lot of creative people, are quite introverted.
Yeah.
It's quite hard at guitar shows to put yourself out there and do the sales job. I love talking. I love talking about guitars and how things are made. I can happily do that, but I can't do the sale. Like, I feel embarrassed trying to sell something. I can talk to someone for ages about it. But then also, I just find the whole side, like the marketing side of running a business, is something that it's just not my head. I just can't do that. And it makes it hard. You know, if you're a one-person builder, you've got to have so many skills and so many hats to make it into a business, really.
Also, it's a thing about time, because it's a time-consuming thing as well, isn't it? You know, and if you work full-time and you've only got like a day or two spare, you've also got other commitments for those days off as well, you know, so you've got to kind of squeeze it in where you can. So it's grabbing hours here and there, but you get, again, you know, very pleasurable, and it makes the rest of life seem better, you know, because you're doing something that seems valuable. And I don't have problem with selling things. I mean, I used to do that as well. So that's not it. It's just probably down to time to get out there and promote is the difficulty, you know, really.
Yeah. I mean, we've had, so anyone that's new to this, we do this chat each week, and it's quite informal. It's nice now that Alan's gone out of his way to try and invite other people in that are doing the Jurg's Cup. So we've got whole sort of new interviews with people. But we used to do very not formal, but we used to organise interviews with people that were an hour and a half long, where we'd go into a whole backstory of how they got into building, their favourite tools, how they market, etc. And it was just fascinating hearing the builders that are more successful, not always, but often put a lot of time and a lot of research and a lot of experimentation into how they advertise and promote themselves.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and if you want to see any of those, we've got an archive. I haven't updated the description of this video yet. I'll do it when we finish the call, but I'll put the links in there to our archive where you can look at all of those if you want.
Yeah, the last few shows I've been to, I've been chatting to a few of the guys. There's quite a lot of them are doing it as a part-time thing to try and get it off the ground.
I think there are some that were doing it full-time that now doing it part-time. I used to do it full-time, but it just didn't work out. I had to go back to part-time. But yeah, but then there are some, like you say, Alan, that where it's picking up for them. So they've got a good trajectory.
It's a difficult market, though, isn't it? I mean, it's if you're making like unique one-off things, then it's got to appeal. Unless it's a commission, you're trying to hit the note where somebody sees it and they go, "Oh, I love that. I've got to have it." And you know, that's difficult. That's a difficult thing to do, isn't it? So therefore, I think commission work's always probably better, because then people are telling you what they want, and then you try to provide that as closely as possible as you possibly can to what they want, you know. But I have a couple of guitars here that I've made that haven't sold, and you can find that a bit upsetting. You try dropping the price down a little bit, and that goes against the grain a little bit, because you know how much effort you've put into it and how much time you've spent on it, you know.
Yeah. I recently tried to do the opposite and raising the price. Found it. People advised it. See if it found a different audience. People that weren't looking for more expensive. Didn't work.
Maybe.
I tell you what did work.
This is the thing, though. Yeah. Oh, I was going to say was like trying to do guitar building full time is basically impossible as a one-man show. When you just think about the economics of it all, and like, you know, how much do you need per month to live on versus how much can you sell a guitar for versus how quickly can you build a guitar. The reality is the three things don't line up. It's just a sad reality that you would have to be building and selling probably 4 or 5 guitars a month to actually have a decent living and income from guitar building.
Maybe I know
building that many guitars is just something's got to give, and it's going to be the quality.
Yeah, I know a couple of people that have got the price just right, so they can build one a month, and with the income from that one a month, plus the things they do on the side, which are mainly kind of YouTube based around the guitars and products that spin off from that, they're making just enough.
Yeah.
But then we've had people on like Jason from Maybury Guitars talking about how he's managing to make a living out of it, but it's nowhere near what he used to earn in his old job. But then talking about how much money he has to spend to keep that business going.
Yeah.
So a lot of the income that he gets doesn't go to him. It goes towards trying to market and support that business.
I mean, Jason's at every trade show, isn't he? So
yeah, literally every.
Hey, it pays off. He gets time to build anything.
He's got some great stories. So the last, was it the last one or was it Birmingham? It was at Birmingham. He said the first time he went to Birmingham, this guy played one of his guitars and loved it, and thought he was going to buy it, but then went round the show, and then when he came back to Jason had sold it to someone else. So great for Jason, brilliant work. And this guy was upset because he didn't get to buy it. And then every year, Jason said that guy kept turning up and playing Jason's guitars and saying none of them was good as that guitar that he had in the first year.
Yeah.
So this year, on a gamble, Jason built a copy of that guitar from the first year, and this guitar guy was there again and bought it straight away because it was just like the one he remembered. Very clever, very good.
Yeah, Jason was saying those X-shaped basses that he started doing are going really well. Seem really popular.
Yeah.
Yeah. What you're saying about commissions, one thing that worked for me early on is I've always really only managed to make money if I have commissions coming in. But I made quite a lot of guitars and put them up for sale. And often they didn't sell, but someone would contact me and say, I've seen this guitar, I'd like it in red. Or I've seen this guitar that you make, and I've seen this other guitar you make. Can you make one for me that's like a combo? And then sort of over the years, all those ones that were up for sale slowly sold, and I never made more stock. And I kind of feel like, I mean, the world's changed. Maybe it wouldn't work again. But if I just had more up, maybe that would happen again. More people would see those guitars and think, I like it, but it's not quite right for me. Can you do something different?
Yeah.
So I always found that actually having ones I'd made for sale was like an advert for the commissions.
Right, yeah.
I don't know. It just all seems different. Like I keep saying to people, luxury items are hard to sell at the moment unless you know the right rich people. And I can't get my way into that rich audience.
Definitely not.
Where do you sell your guitars then if you're not?
You just try to advertise them on social media, and hopefully somebody picks them up from that, or creates a contact. But like, you know, you go to the same route as everybody. All of us have guitar playing friends and people who we know, and you sort of tap into that for a while, don't you? And then that dries up after a while, doesn't it? And then you've got to look further afield, and then you just get recommendations, don't you, from one person, one guitarist to another, and that works as well, probably as well as anything. But it's that sort of make a guitar that you like, put it up for sale. That's the hard sell, really, for me. That's where it's proved more difficult.
I remember a story now of do you remember when Menno came on, and he was talking about the fact that he'd seen a guitarist in town near where he lived who he thought would probably buy a guitar.
Yeah.
So he made a guitar that he knew that guy would like. And over a period of months, he was working on that guitarist saying, I love your music, I love your guitars, you see what I make. Just so that when this guy finally comes around to his workshop, he'll have the guitar that he knows is the style this person would want.
Yeah.
Which I thought was a really interesting hard sell.
Yeah, I've tried that with a few people that I know, and you get people who they just love Fenders, or you know the type. They won't go for a custom guitar at all. They just want what their guitar hero played, and they love Telecasters and American-made Telecasters. And they won't go for a one that's been hand built because it's not a Fender. You got that brand loyalty, don't you? As
or
well.
if they buy one that's hand built, it's got to look like a Fender.
Yeah.
But annoyingly, often they haven't played a hand built one, and they don't realise how much better it potentially is. But there you go. I don't know. Hey, so look, just to sort of end up today, Joe, I've put in the description to this, which I'm going to update, so it's got more info in it. But I put in
Joe's a little stuck right now.
Oh, what?
Joe's a little stuck right now.
Oh, yes, he is. I just say to Joe, I put a link. Oh, something's gone wrong here. Oh, Joe's on it twice. That's weird.
I can see you three, but I can't see myself.
Well, Joe.
I'm on the bottom now. Yeah, there we are.
I can hear you. Something's gone a bit weird, but I was just going to end up saying I put a link to your Instagram so people can find you there. And I know you hang out in the Jurg's Cup on Facebook group.
Yeah, cool. Yeah.
Do you know what you're going to do next yet? You said you finished in your Jurg's Cup and you're not certain where you're going. Have you got a rough idea?
Yeah. Well, I've got to. Not really. No. I've got some couple of nice lumps of sapele there waiting in the corner, nice and dry. So I don't know. I've never made a Les Paul Junior. Maybe, perhaps it's about the right size to do one of those. So maybe I might do something along that, inspired by that. But I might enter 2 in the Jurg's Cup.
Yeah, why not? You've got time.
I've been quite.
Sometimes a good piece of wood.
Quite quick, haven't I, with this first one?
Yeah, impressively. Sometimes a good piece of wood is the good starting point, isn't it? The material do the talking.
Yeah.
Great. So listen, thanks.
It's the yeah, cool.
Sorry,
it's been great. Thank you. Yeah,
that's right. We've got a bit of a delay. It's gone a bit weird, and also I've been up since 3, so I've now been up 20 hours, and my brain's gone a bit. Unfortunately, I'm not here for the next 2 Fridays now. So I'm not sure when we'll do the next one. Probably in 3 Fridays' time, hopefully. Alan's on the ball with trying to get people booked in, and I'm thinking that maybe we might change it back to being Mondays, but I haven't said that to anyone else yet. See how that goes down. I'm quite aware that by the time it gets to Friday night, I'm a bit frazzled, so it might be easier as well to keep it regular if it's on a Monday. But we'll see what happens.
Well, I've got to admit, Saturday mornings are killing me.
Yeah. Well, we missed it. We missed it, Ray.
The sunrise.
Yes.
The sunrise, it happened.
Oh.
We had the Australian sunrise in the background of Ray. Yeah. Early Saturday for him. Well, look, thank you everyone that's been here in the chat.
Been a pleasure.
Live, and anyone that's watching in the
Enjoyed
future.
It.
Yeah. Thank you, Joe. It's been brilliant. And I hopefully chat to you more online soon.
Yeah.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Nice to meet you all.
Cheers.
Take care.
See you guys.
Bye.